All right, today I have a big cozy mystery book haul. I went to the library today, and what I have noticed about my library is they have a more extensive cozy mystery book collection in person than they do on their digital resources. I mean, they do have some good mysteries on Libby and Hoopla, but they have a lot more. They have like 2 full rows of cozy mysteries. Well, mystery fiction, but within that cozy mystery in the library. So I got 10 books. So we're going to go through them all together, okay? The first one is Buried in a Good Book by Tamara Berry. I'm going to read the summary for these books so you guys can, if you are not familiar with them, can learn about them, maybe add them to your TBR. But also, I need you to help me figure out which book I should read first because a lot of these series sound really good to me and I don't know how I'm going to choose. So I need your help to figure it out. Also, some of these I've definitely heard of before and have been on my TBR. I can't remember exactly who on BookTube has recommended them, but I have gotten the recommendation somewhere. So let's read the summary for this one. It says best-selling thriller author Tess Harrow and her teenage daughter Gertrude need a fresh start. Now that Tess's divorce is final, the best place for her and Gertie to heal and reconnect is the rustic cabin in the woods that Tess inherited from her late grandfather. Between the beautiful pond on the property, the majestic mountain views, and the peaceful forest, it should be a relaxing getaway. But they've barely made it through the door when an explosion shakes the cabin, and it's suddenly raining fish parts, and is that a human arm? Tess was hardly convincing Gertie that a summer without Wi-Fi and running water would be an adventure. Now she's thrust into a murder investigation. Neighbors are saying they've spotted Bigfoot in the woods near her cabin, and to top it off, the local sheriff is the spitting image of her famous character Detective Gonzalez, something he's less than thrilled about. With so much more than her daughter's summer plans at stake, it's up to Tess to put her crime writing skills to the test and solve this case before anyone else gets hurt. Next up, I got Survival of the Fritters. Okay, guys, let's talk about the fact that there are donuts and a cat on the cover. I love that. This main character's name is Emily. So that's kind of fun. That's my first name. If Emily has learned anything from her past as a 911 operator, it's to stay calm during stressful situations. But that's a tall order when one of her regulars, Georgia Treater, goes missing. Georgia never skips morning cappuccinos with her knitting circle. Her pals fear the worst, especially Lois, a close friend who recently moved to town. As evening creeps in, Emily and the ladies search for Georgia at home, and they find her murdered among a scattering of stale donuts. Disturbingly, Georgia's demise coincides with the 5-year anniversary of her son's murder, a case Emily's late detective husband failed to solve before his own sudden death. With Lois hiding secrets and an innocent man's life at stake, Emily's forced to revisit painful memories on her quest for answers. Though someone's alibi is full of holes, only a sprinkling of clues have been left behind. And if Emily can trace them back to a killer in time, her donut shop will end up permanently closed for business. ... This one sounds really good, guys. I don't know. This might be the one that I start with. The cover is just so cute. Oh, what I will say is all of these books are the first in a series, so that's really nice. I think a lot of times with cozy mysteries, I see a book that sounds good and it's like in the middle of a really long series. So that is also another issue that I'm having because all of them start a new series, and which one do I start? I don't know. Next up is A Sprinkling of Murder, which is the first in a fairy garden mystery by Daryl Wood Gerber. This one is so cute. And I think it would be really perfect for spring. Do we not love this cover? I just think it's so adorable. Okay. Since childhood, Courtney has loved fairies. After her mother died when Courtney was 10, she lost touch with that feeling of magic. A year ago, at age 29, she rediscovered it when she left her father's landscaping business to spread her wings and start a fairy garden business and tea shop in beautiful Carmel, California. I'm sorry. A fairy garden business and a tea shop? Oh my gosh. At Open Your Imagination, she teaches garden design and sells everything from fairy figurines to tinkling wind chimes. Now she's starting a book club tea. Oh my gosh. But the light of the magical world she's created inside her shop is darkened one night when she discovers neighboring dog grooming business owner Mick Watkins dead beside her patio fountain. To make matters worse, the police suspect Courtney of the crime. To clear her name and find the real killer, Courtney will have to wing it, but she's about to get a little help from an unexpected source. ... Oh my gosh, guys. I want you to know that I checked out these books solely off of the covers. So I didn't actually read the synopsis. So that was my real life reaction to her opening a fairy garden business and tea shop and having a book club tea, because I want to just dive on into this. You know what I mean? Next up is A Curious Incident, and this is a Sherlock Holmes bookshop mystery. I love a bookshop mystery. This one's by Vicky Delaney, who I'm pretty sure is a pretty well-known cozy mystery author. Again, I'm newer to the genre, so I don't really know who's a really popular author other than Laura Childs. So, yeah, let's read. It's up to Gemma and Jane to root out the killer when the winner of a garden tour trophy is left pushing up daisies. I am not a consulting detective, Gemma Doyle tells 10-year-old Lauren Tierney when the little girl comes to the Sherlock Holmes bookshop and emporium to beg Gemma to find her missing cat, Snowball. Gemma might not be able to follow the clues to find the cat, but her dog Violet follows her nose. Gemma and Violet proudly return Snowball to her grateful owner, and Gemma basks in praise for a job well done. But a few days later, Lauren is back with $10 in hand, wanting to once again hire a consulting detective, and this time for a far bigger job. Her mother has been accused of murder. Sheila Tierney's garden, which everyone said was the one to beat for the West London Garden Club trophy, had been vandalized the night before the club's early summer tour. Sheila confronted her former friend, Anna Wentworth, in a towering rage, and the women nearly came to blows. Later that night, after having won the trophy for Best Garden, Anna is found murdered, and Sheila Tierney is the prime suspect. Despite herself and despite the disapproval of her police detective boyfriend Ryan Ashburton, the game is once again afoot, and Gemma finds herself and Jane Wilson using their powers of deduction to ponder yet another curious incident. I did not know this one was British. I love England. Ooh, I don't know how I'm going to choose. Okay. This one was one that was recommended to me from a booktuber. Can't remember which one. But this is A Murder at the Lakeside Library by Holly Danvers. First of all, I would like to go on a spring break wherever this cover is. It looks so cute. It says, Rain Wilmot must discover the killer before the book closes on her life. Rain Wilmot has just returned to her family's waterfront log cabin in Lofty Pines, Wisconsin, after the untimely death of her husband. The cabin is peaceful compared to Rain's corporate job and comes with an informal library that Rain's mother, Willow, used to run. But as Rain prepares for the reopening of the library, All hopes for a peaceful life are shattered when she discovers the body of Thornton Hughes, a real estate buyer on the premise. The community of Lofty Pines starts pointing fingers at Willow since she has been unusually absent from the library this summer. A fishy rumor surfaces when Rain learns that Willow had been spending a lot of time with Thornton. The town even thought they were having an affair. While theories swirl about Thornton's death, Rain takes it upon herself to solve the case to exonerate her mother. As more clues surface, Rain will have to piece together the mystery. But if she isn't careful, she may be the next to end up dead in the water in Murder at the Lakeside Library, the first in Holly Danvers' new Lakeside Library mysteries. It went from a summary synopsis to a sales pitch. So we have 5 more to go. We're halfway through. Congrats if you're still hanging with me. This is one that I've never heard of before, and it sounded really interesting. So this is The Diva Cooks Up a Storm, a domestic diva mystery by Krista Davis. Domestic diva Sophie Winston can whip up an elaborate event in her sleep, but as the hippest hostess, she rarely gets to enjoy the full guest treatment, which is why her best friend, Nina Reed Norwood, loops her into the latest culinary craze, a pop-up gourmet dinner party. The celebrity chef, the Epicurean menu, and the high-profile attendees are all a surprise, turning the decadent dining experience into the hottest ticket in Old Town. But Sophie's just pleased as punch that she finally has an opportunity to join her fellow foodies in some fun. The posh party proves to be a recipe for disaster when Hollis Haberman sours spirits by bringing his own hot new dish, his young trophy wife. With Hollis's son and ex-wife in attendance, there may be more heat at the table than in the kitchen. But the next morning, Sophie discovers Hollis swallowing his last bits of air, and she must scramble to stop a killer before the swanky supper becomes everyone's last meal. That one sounds really interesting. Again, I'd never heard of it before, so I was kind of intrigued by the event planner aspect of it, because I feel like that's not a trope that I've seen a lot in cozy mysteries. So this next one, I love this cover so much. This might be one of my favorite covers that I got, but this is A Crafter Knits a Clue, which is a handcrafted mystery novel, first one, by Holly Quinn. When a heartbroken Samantha, Sammy Kane, returns to her hometown of Hartsford, Wisconsin for her best friend Kate's funeral, she learns that Kate's much-loved craft store is in danger of perishing with its owner. Confounding all her expectations of the life she would live, Sammy moves back home with her golden retriever and takes over Community Craft. A few doors down Main Street, fellow new arrival Ingrid Wilson has just opened the Yarn Barn, a real pearl of a shop. But when Sammy strolls over to see if Ingrid could use a little help, she finds Ingrid's dead body with a green aluminum knitting needle lodged in her throat. Detective Liam Nash is thrown for a loop as every single citizen of Hartsford seems to have a theory about Ingrid's murder, and nearly everyone in town seems to be a suspect. Sammy is eager to help the handsome Liam, but when he arrests affable woodmaker Miles Danbury, Sammy puts everything on the line to help clear Miles. As the case comes dangerously close to unraveling, Sammy must stitch the clues together, but the killer has other plans, and if Sammy's not careful, she may wind up in a perilous knot. Cute. I've never read a crafting cozy mystery, so I thought that sounded good. It's actually funny because the next book I have is also a crafting mystery. This one is Murder Wears Mittens by Sally Goldenbaum. And this is the first book in a Seaside Knitters Society mystery. Ooh, this one is set in autumn. So, as autumn washes over coastal Sea Harbor, Massachusetts, the seaside knitters anticipate a relaxing off season. But when murder shatters the peace, the craftiest bunch in town must unravel a killer's deadly scheme. After retrieving fresh lobster nets from a local laundromat, Cass Halloran rushes to attend a last minute gathering of her knitting circle. But Cass can't stop worrying about the lonely boy seen hanging around the dryers and the school uniform he left behind in a hurry. When the ladies return the lost clothing the next day, they find the child and his younger sister alone, seemingly abandoned by their mother. The knitters intend to facilitate a family reunion, not investigate a crime. But the death of Dolores Cardozo, a recluse from the edge of town, throws the group for a loop, especially when the missing mother and one of their own become tied to the victim's hidden fortune and her murder. Before scandalous secrets break bonds and the rumors tear Sea Harbor apart, the seaside knitters need to string together the truth about Dolores while preventing a greedy murderer from making another move. Okay, this one is Murder in an Irish Village. This one I've seen a lot because it was recently St. Patrick's Day, but this is not specifically a St. Patrick's Day cozy mystery. It's just set in Ireland, so I figured I could read it anytime. I had started to read the audiobook, but the narrator was Irish and the accent was just a little hard for me to focus on. I was getting kind of distracted, so I picked up the physical copy in hopes that it might be easier to read. But this one is by Carleen O'Connor. It says, in the small village of Kilbane, County Cork, Ireland, Naomi's Bistro has always been a warm and welcoming spot to visit with neighbors, enjoy some brown bread and tea, and get the local gossip. Nowadays, 22-year-old Siobhan O'Sullivan runs the family bistro named for her mother, along with her 5 siblings, after the death of their parents in a car crash almost a year ago. It's been a rough year for the O'Sullivans, but it's about to get rougher. One morning, as they're opening the bistro, they discover a man seated at a table, dressed in a suit as if for his own funeral. A pair of hot pink barber scissors protruding from his chest. With the local Garda suspecting the O'Sullivans and their business in danger of being shunned, murder tends to spoil the appetite. It's up to the feisty red-headed Siobhan to solve the crime and save her beloved brood. I don't know if I'm saying the main character's name correctly. So if anyone else has read this series and can let me know, I'd appreciate it. And the last book I have is a really popular one called Maid. It was a Good Morning America book club pick. At first, I did not know this was a cozy mystery, but it is. So I am curious about this one. It says, Molly Gray is not like everyone else. She struggles with social skills and misreads the intentions of others. Her Gran used to interpret the world for her, codifying it into simple rules that Molly could live by. Since Gran died a few months ago, 25-year-old Molly has been navigating life's complexities all by herself. No matter, she throws herself with gusto into her work as a hotel maid. Her unique character, along with her obsessive love of cleaning and proper etiquette, makes her an ideal fit for the job. She delights in donning her crisp uniform each morning, stocking her cart with miniature soaps and bottles, and returning guest rooms at the Regency Grand Hotel to a state of perfection. But Molly's orderly life is upended the day she enters the suite of the infamous and wealthy Charles Black, only to find is that it is in a state of disarray and Mr. Black himself dead in his bed. Before she knows what's happening, Molly's unusual demeanor has the police targeting her as their lead suspect. She quickly finds herself caught in a web of deception, one she has no idea how to untangle. Fortunately for Molly, friends she never knew she had unite with her in a search for clues to what really happened to Mr. Black. But will they be able to find the real killer before it's too late? both a clue-like locked room mystery and a heartwarming journey of the spirit. The Maid explores what it means to be the same as everyone else and yet entirely different, and reveals that all mysteries can be solved through connection to the human heart. Ooh, that one sounds good. Okay, so out of all of these, and there were a lot, there were 10, out of all of them, which one would you pick? Let me know. Let me know if you've read any of these series and if you liked them. Let me know if there's any I should steer clear of. And yeah, I will let you know if I decide which one I will read. And until next time, if you haven't already, you can like, comment, or subscribe. I would love to have you hang around. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you later. Bye.